What's up, guys? Spenny. Never have I been more satisfied or proud of my vote for President Trump than today when the administration went full force on the horrific slaughter and murder in Charlottesville. Now the full video is out of what happened to this Ukrainian refugee. Here's Caroline Levitt flanked with the side-by-side photos of the murderous animal who slaughtered an innocent young 23-year-old, left her for dead, stabbed her in the throat a couple of times. She slumps over in horror and dies alone on that metro bus. These are the last looks in her eyes. We now have, again, the full video. The administration is using this iconography to show what it looks like when Democrats run your nation and your country. The criminal is made the victim and is given mercy, and that is cruelty to the innocent, as Adam Smith would say. President Trump holding up these images in the Oval Office, a powerful statement, making a powerful statement, the administration going full bore to ensure that this never happens, and this never is your mother or daughter or grandmother or family member. Pam Bondi saying that these are federal murder charges now. This repeat offender, DeCarlos Brown Jr., will not be breathing free air ever again in his miserable cockroach life. Irina Zastruka is a young woman living in the United States of America. Her dream, her horrific murder is a direct result of the failed soft-on-crime policies that put criminals before innocent people. I have directed my attorneys to federally prosecute a repeat offender with a history of violent crime for murder. We will seek maximum penalty for this unforgivable crime, and he will never again see the light of day as a free man. He isn't even a man. He is a monster. I have confirmed with my Department of Justice sources that the death penalty is what they will seek. The defendant is facing either life in prison or the death penalty, life in prison. Far too good of a result. Make an example. President Trump's DOJ must ensure that justice is done. At a recent press conference in Charlotte, the DOJ assistant attorney for the district says that the Charlotte animal charges will carry a maximum punishment of the death penalty. And so that is what we should expect. And if you are not for the faint of heart, you shouldn't watch the full video, because the policies about these kind of videos on social media, we are going to show you a slightly blurred version of what happens here, but it's worth seeing for yourself. It's available across social media. It's radicalizing, because in order to fight evil, you have to stare it directly in its darkened face and see it for what it is. That then gives you a full heart to stand up with the resolve that is necessary to ensure that this never happens again. Burn this image into your brain.
By now, the entire world has seen this human piece of garbage stab this girl on a train for no reason whatsoever. The video, until now, stopped here, and the rest was left to imagination. But now we have more. Before I continue this, I will tell you there is no blood and the actual stab is not seen. But this video is horrific and nauseating. So that's your warning. Here's the continuation. It is just pure horror. Look at this girl's eyes. Tragic. She had to make eye contact with evil, and terror is on her face. Now the shock of realizing that something's wrong. She probably doesn't even know she's been stabbed yet, and the pain in her neck is probably just starting to creep in. And now she's left to cry as her life slips away, alone, because not a single person could offer her help, or even an "are you okay?" You could give these people the benefit of the doubt, as perhaps they don't quite realize what happened, especially because it happened so quick and without warning. The guy walks down the train, which I've blurred to spare you the blood that's everywhere, and he seems to say, "I got that white girl."
Yeah, I got that girl.
Then, while standing alone, he seems to utter his reason for this whole thing. After he leaves, you can hear some people finally discover what's happened. This video might be excruciating to watch, but it should be seen by everyone, because this is horrific, and it's being allowed to happen across the country. And the president is now talking about handling.
Full uncensored video of Irina Zastruka getting slaughtered, 5 stabs in the neck. With a knife, she slowly loses consciousness and collapses into a pool of blood, terrified and alone. No one helps her. Don't look away. The political forces that release this vicious animal to kill this innocent young woman are alive and well. They want this to happen again. They are not sorry. They are not remorseful. Democrats' restorative justice policies end with freedom for the criminal and unspeakable pain and suffering for you and your loved ones. They are evil. We must stop them. But to do so, we must look directly at this evil to stop it from happening to your family. Look at the number of people that are on this bus. 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals. 5. 5 people sit there and watch this animal stab her to death, actually slowly bleeds out and dies. And they do nothing. In fact, one of them, this lady, gets up and runs away. No one stops to help the victim. No one stops to do anything. Judges are releasing criminals who go on to commit murder is a long-standing pattern in every single state in the U.S. Until the judges are held accountable, nothing will change. We need laws that prosecute judges and that make the judges who commit these acts liable for suit themselves. Make judges think twice about releasing these criminal rats onto our street to feed on the rest of us. A group of people frozen in fear because of one criminal. This entire scene feels dystopian. Americans do not need to live like this. It's what pure evil looks like. CNN saying this is white supremacy. They want you dead. You don't live in a free country if this is what your children have to experience and endure. Nobody even helped her. This is completely haunting. The big lie that Democrats told about violent crime is that it's systemic and therefore no one's really responsible. If that system is to blame, then you fund a bunch of nonprofits that don't do anything besides give jobs to underqualified radicals. The reality is that the gross majority of violent crime is committed by a very small group of people and that we should be throwing them in prison, says J.D. Vance. Correct. Trump addressed the nation about crime as DOJ is now filing federal charges. As a conservative, you can't be appreciative for this kind of leadership. If you can't appreciate this kind of leadership, it's unthinkable for any Republican administration in our lifetime. Then I don't know what to tell you. It's hard for me to believe that you're a sincere person or an honest broker. Matt Walsh saying Trump's administration is doing everything they possibly can, including pushing for the death penalty here. I got that white girl, he says. Politicians with the balls to do this over fear of being called racist. Trump is one of one. That's exactly right. Will there be protests in the street for her? Will we demand sweeping changes in society? Will people post a square on Instagram? Will she get a golden casket? As politicians weep, will there be crosswalks, murals painted for her? Will corporations donate millions of dollars in her honor? Will Hollywood actors weep on camera? Or is this reserved only for certain types of people? I can't believe this is happening right now. She's just been stabbed. She doesn't even realize something is horribly wrong. She's dying. The poor girl lived her final moments in fear and terror. And her biggest crime was just coming to America and thinking that she was going to be in the greatest country on earth. Charlotte authorities did their best to cover up this crime and keep this footage hidden. They don't want you to know the truth. President Trump does, and so do we, because that's the only way that we get change, ladies and gentlemen. The true evil and true terrorism in this nation is domestically born, mainly. It's born of our own people, our own judges, and our own systems refusing to do what it takes to keep Americans safe. The 1% of criminal, degenerate animals versus the 99% of the rest of America that simply wants to live peaceably. We must fix this paradigm. And it won't even be hard. We just have to have the power to do it. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.